This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Sunday morning. With us today is a good friend, Charlie Gasparino, has the greatest book I've ever read in a long time, Go Woke, Go Broke. It just brought reality back. And Charles, Thanksgiving is over. Monday is December 1. Before you know it, it's January 1 and the new year. And before you know it, you blink your eyes, it's going to be November 2026 where we're going to have midterms.
Yeah, I don't. They obviously they don't look good right now for Trump and for the GOP. I just say, and I know you disagree with some of this, but if you look at any poll number about Trump's approval ratings, where he really stumbles is on the economy, and this is like where he was supposed to be the strongest. I mean, he was supposed to knock it out of the park with the economy. We had a Republican Congress. We had, he had Republicans and pro-growth people, in his administration. They knew that they needed to cut taxes. They knew they needed to hold the line on spending, which they did. They kind of did. They didn't really do enough of it. But they knew they needed to deregulate, which they did. They knew they needed to drill. But then he went and with this diversion of tariffs. And I don't care what anybody says. Those things are impacting right now. And they're impacting in ways that was totally transparent. Unless you are listening to Peter Navarro 24/7 and Howard Lutnick. Anybody with half a brain knows that if you sort of price shock certain goods with high tariffs, you're gonna get both an economic slowdown to a certain extent, and you're gonna get inflation, which is exactly what we have right now. Listen, the economy isn't horrible. It's just the wage growth has not kept up with the fact that prices are elevated that he inherited from Biden, and we have elevated inflation at 3%. And therefore, it's largely stuff is almost unaffordable for working class people, and they don't care about the markets. I had this argument with all my friends on the left, during the tariff tantrum when he did his Liberation Day tariffs and the market sold off. This is before he tried to put the genie back in the bottle, which he hasn't. That's one of the problems. That average people, I don't know if Trump is going to lose average people unless this really does lead to an have economic consequences beyond the markets. Most people are not in the market, John. It's. I mean, I know you could say police and firemen have pensions and all that, but they don't look at it that way. I go to restaurants. I talk to the bartender. What does he have in his 401k? He's got like $130,000. The average 401k, I believe, is $136,000. The midpoint is $50,000. That's 50% above and 50% below. This market does not really affect the fact that it's going bonkers. Doesn't really, create a wealth effect that you think it does. Not when inflation is still persistent.
The people. Charles, the other thing that President Trump is having fistfights with is Jerome Powell, because he wants interest rates going down. And intentionally, the last time they went down 25 basis points, Jerome Powell said, well, I don't think I'm going to lower them in December. And now he's changed his mind again, which puts the market in a roller coaster, and that's what happened for no reason at all.
John,
I'm in the oil business. Oil is $58 a barrel right now in WTI in the United States. When Trump left office, it was 52. Under Biden, it was $80, $90, $100 a barrel. So prices are going to come down.
Yeah, but they should have come down already. But where the logic doesn't match is that if people are the rich people are spending so much money, why are wage rates going up? They're not. Wages are not going up.
It takes longer because existing contracts, as they come up.
It shouldn't take longer. You want to know what he should have done? There's two policies that cause inflation: deportations and trade. Right? Pick one. I would have picked deportations. Get rid of all the illegals because we can use a little wage inflation here.
Well,
and by the way,
agree,
and save tariffs for a later day.
What did
we get out of this? What do we really get out of this? Are you telling me plants are opening up all over the? I know the president.
That's going to happen over the next year or two because of the backlog.
Not happening. It's not happening, John. John, those agreements or these companies that are touting it have been in place already. This is a sleight of hand, and the problem that the Republicans have, in my view, is they're falling into the Biden trap.
One second, Charlie. We both disagree in a lot of ways. Why don't we go 1 minute each, and then we take a break and we see where we are in January?
Sounds good to me. Go for it.
I think the factor is that oil is going down, gasoline is going down, and interest rates are going to go down. So people are going to be buying cars. People are going to be buying new homes because they couldn't afford 7%, 6.5%, 7% interest rates to buy homes. And I think we're on our way to a great economy. And I think the sun is going to shine for the United States. And tell me where you stand, Charles.
You might be right, but I think you're wrong. And one reason you're wrong is that Jerome Powell doesn't control interest rates. The interest rates are controlled by the market. The interest rate that matters is the 10-year bond, not the Fed funds rate. And that's totally dependent on inflation fears. And if you jawbone Jerome Powell into lowering rates into 3% inflation, you could have a sell-off in the 10-year bond, which will mean higher mortgage rates, higher costs of borrowing for cars. And I think that's one issue. And I think the Trump administration, if they were smart, they would start the new year and enact a pro-growth, pro-supply side agenda that ratchets back tariffs immediately and starts cutting taxes, or at least proposing this sort of stuff, while it does have a Republican Congress. And if they don't do that, the Republicans are going to get their clocks cleaned in next year.
Me and you have to have dinner, have to have a few scotches, and we're going to figure it out for the president.
Sounds good.
Look forward to it, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Thanks, John.